Hello students, in the fifth element I have rightly discussed about the industry, primary industry, secondary industry, tertiary industry. Like that I have already explained about the industry in the fifth element, and the sixth element for the discussion is commerce. Why? Because the business activity is going to cover two important aspects. One is the industry and the other one is the commerce. And as far as the industry is concerned, in my fifth element I have already discussed each and every elements which will come under the concept of industry. Okay, today let me discuss the concept of commerce. The commerce basically involve two branches. One is trade and another one is the auxiliaries to trade. So what actually it is mean by trade? Trade means it is a trading activity. Trading in the sense buying and selling of goods as well as the services for the price consideration. That is what we mean as trade. So before we used to consider only the buying and selling of the goods, but today we are going to consider not only the goods. Today each and every business organizations are going to make provision of even services also. And if buying and selling of goods and services takes place, that is so called as trade. That is so called as trade. So this trade, here you will find two important trade. One is the internal trade. Internal trade in the sense domestic trade or the home trade. It means that if any kind of the goods and services are bought and sold within the geographical boundaries of a country, that is so called as internal trade. And in this internal trade there are two important types. One is wholesale trade and another one is the retail trade. What is wholesale trade? If the goods are bought and sold in a larger quantities, that is so called as wholesale trade. And if opposite to that, goods and services are bought and sold in a smaller quantities, that is so called as the retail trade. And next important type is external trade. External trade in the sense if the goods and services are bought and purchased beyond the boundaries of a country, that is so called as external trade. And in that external trade you will find import trade, export trade and entrepot trade. Import trade in the sense importing of the goods, and if it means that when any kind of the goods and services are going to be imported from the other countries of the world, that is so called as import trade. Best example can be if I am going to purchase a new car from the German country, that can be best example for the import trade. And next one is the export trade. Export trade in the sense something like exporting. If my business organization is going to export any kind of the goods and services to the other countries of the world, that is so called as export trade. Best example can be if my business organization is going to deal in the cotton products, and if my company cotton products are going to sold to the England, that is so called as the export trade. And last one is the entrepot trade. Entrepot trade in the sense the goods are going to be imported from the all other countries of the world, not for consumption. Once they are going to be imported to my country, once again those are going to be exported to the other countries of the world, that is so called as entrepot trade. Entrepot in the sense importing for the purpose of exporting, that is so called as entrepot trade. So these will fall under the external trade. So this is the one branch under the commerce. And another branch is that auxiliaries to trade. Auxiliaries to trade in the sense, auxiliary in the sense, the activities which will act as a support, which will act as a supplement to the concept of trade. Concept of trade in the sense, buying and selling of the goods and services. If any kind of facilities are going to act as a supplement and support to the buying and selling of the goods and services, that is so called as auxiliaries to trade. Auxiliaries to trade. So in that you will find many different facilities and the amenities. What are those? Transportation facilities, warehousing facilities, insurance facilities, banking and finance facilities, and advertising facilities. So these are the facilities which will act as a support to the trade. So in that, first one for the discussion is transportation. So in these days, if you see any business organization, every business organization's transactions are truly been depends on transportation, because the transportation are going to provide effective as well as the efficient services to the business organization. Why? Because the producers are going to manufacture the products at a different locations, and once the products are going to be produced by the manufacturers, those are going to be rightly been delivered to the consumers for the consumption by this facility. If this facility is not there, whatever the products which have been manufactured by the any industries are not going to be supplied and delivered to the consumers, and if it is the thing, there will be no consumption of goods and services. That is why, to that extent, the transportation is going to create a place utility. Place utility in the sense, from what location the consumers wants to purchase the products to that destination, this transportation is going to make delivery of the goods. That is what we mean as the transportation facilities. And next thing is that the warehousing facilities. Warehousing facility in the sense, as we have seen the warehouses. What are the warehouses? Warehouses are nothing but the static places. Static places in the sense, they are known as the fixed places. Fixed places. In that place, whatever the products have been produced, those are going to be kept. Those are going to be temporarily been stored. That facility is so called as the warehousing. And in these days, the warehousing is going to play a major role. Why? Because they are going to take a proper precautions with respect to the maintaining the quality of the products. It means that the products may be manufactured at a certain point of time, but those are going to be sold after a certain period of time, and in between that there is a possibility that the products may lose its quality. And if the warehousing facility is there, the warehouses are going to rightly take the precautions so as to maintain the quality of the products to be delivered. That is one thing. And second thing is that sometime there is a shortage for the product, and if there is a shortage for the product, automatically demand for the products is going to be increased, and when the demand is going to be increased, automatically there will be sudden increase in the price level for the product. And when there is an increase in the price level, that is so called as the inflation. That should not be happen. Inflation should not be happen. And if there is a sudden increase in the price level, nobody will come forward to buy my company products. That is why the warehouses are going to take a proper steps so as to maintain the price level for the products. That is the second importance of the warehousing. So like this, the many different facilities are going to be provided by the warehouse. That is about the warehousing. And next thing is that the insurance. insurance facility is very important. Why? Because I have been produce the products, but the thing is that if there is no protection to the manufactured product, that is no use of making production of such products. That is why this facility is going to create proper safety and protection, so that the products should not be damaged. There should not be loss for the products. To that extent, the security is going to be provided by this kind of a facility, that is so called as the insurance. Insurance is well known for the protection against the risk of loss. There should not be damage, and there should not be any kind of the risk with respect to the products so produced by the business organization. To that extent, the protection is going to be provided by the insurance facilities. And next thing is that the banking and finance. For every business organization, the funds are the lifeblood of the business, and without having the sufficient funds, without having a sufficient capital, no business organization is going to run its business activities. For every business, the capital is the most important element. Without having a capital, they cannot purchase any kind of the raw materials, they cannot build any kind of the premises, they cannot purchase any kind of the fixed assets, they cannot meet out any kind of the administrative expenses also. That is why the business organizations are going to borrow required loan advances from the banks and finances. That is why the financial institutions are going to provide lifeblood of the business, that is the funds are going to be provided. That is so called as banking and finance. And last thing is that the advertising. In these days, the advertising is having the positive impact on the minds of the consumers. Just looking to the advertising, the consumers will come forward to buy the products. Why? Because the advertisement is an effective tool. It is going to give the information about the products which have been produced, and it is going to clarify each and every doubts the consumers are having. To that extent, the advertising is going to motivate the consumers, is going to persuade the consumers so as to buy the company products. To that extent, the publicity and popularity of the products is going to be made by this kind of a facility, that is so called as an advertising. So these are the 5 important facilities which are going to act as support and supplement to the trade. Those are so called as the auxiliaries to trade. With this, I am going to conclude my discussion. Thank you.